But if you think about it, everything that we're talking about here is really just a matter of perspective. When it comes down to it, really anything that we talk about, what I don't really understand is how people look at their about this subject or about that subject. In the end, I find it interesting how all boils down really to completely quiet isolation. I look at my life.
To be successful, it is extremely helpful to surround yourself with people that have a success mindset. And for some people, it's difficult to, ascertain if a person has a success mindset. But if you know that the majority of people on this planet do not have a success mindset, then you can be relatively certain that most people you're going to meet do not have a success mindset. A good indication is normally a person who's already proven that they have a success mindset. They have proven to go up against difficult achievements and be victorious in a vast majority of those difficult achievements. A person who works tirelessly at their craft, for example, or a person who has elevated themselves to, CEO, there's a lot of different examples, from formal examples to informal examples of people who have proven that they are successful people. Now, separating yourself from people who are unsuccessful is, I think, really important, because while you can technically succeed even around people despite your environment, you want to make your environment as conducive and as forthcoming towards your success than possible. And being around people that are unsuccessful or do not have that success mindset is counterproductive in many ways. And it's also possible that those people will pull you away from that success mindset. You do not want to get advice, for example, from people who have... A perfect example of this is people who say that they're going to do something, and then they realize the difficulty of how to achieve that goal, and then a year from that point, or months from that point, or several years from that point, they're in the same position, or generally haven't advanced very much from their original position when they first stated that they had this goal. That's a perfect example of people that don't have a success mindset. Now, if you get advice from people like that, what do you think that advice is going to be? It's going to be pretty terrible. The mentality that failure is acceptable is in certain ways healthy and in certain ways necessary. However, the vast majority of the time you want to go in with a little bit of stress on yourself. Saying that you should be completely in a stress-free environment is probably not the best way to go about things, because you want to make sure that you're constantly on your own heels. You're constantly chasing yourself. You're constantly moving forward with your goals. And these goals are obviously from many goals leading up to a main event, a main goal, or just your main goals in general. You constantly want to be chasing and moving forward with your life. And people that haven't experienced that will give you terrible advice. They will say things like, failure is an okay thing. It's okay to fail when you haven't succeeded enough. Okay, so you haven't proven that you're in a success mindset yet, and that's especially true in the very beginning. If you haven't proven that you're in a success mindset, people will try and drag you down, intentionally or unintentionally. People can certainly be good-hearted and mean well to try and pick you up during your failures, but really you should be taking your failures as a personal statement to yourself and be able to internalize those failures and not accept them. You need to reject your failures in terms of your progression. You want to accept those failures to a point where you learn from the failures, but you don't want to accept the failures in terms of actually moving forward. You can't just, okay, fail and then, well, I guess I'm just not cut out for it, which a lot of people do. Tons and tons of people do that. Let's say they apply for a scholarship, or they apply for a university position, or they apply for a job or whatever, and they get rejected. Then they just become dejected. And that's accepting failure on an emotional level, but also on a progress level, to a point where you fall down and kind of break apart into pieces, and you just accept your current position. And being around people that have that mentality can be extremely destructive to your actual movement forward. So unless you are 100% confident that your mind can be independent of their mind and you will not be severely influenced by their advice, it would be absolutely the best course of action to separate yourself from people. And well, people of that mentality. And I know that sounds a little harsh, and that does sound like, well, you're going to have to go through some emotional turmoil to accomplish that. Well, honestly, when it comes down to it, a lot of things aren't easy. You know, I can't think of the quote off the top of my head right now, but a lot of things aren't easy. Things that, I think it's something like, things that are worth having do not come easy. And in general, that's typically true. If you want to, let's say, get into a master's program, or you want a particular job position, or you want to eclipse a certain person in one facet of life or several facets of life, that means that you're going to have to work tirelessly and efficiently to become the best version of yourself, to be able to convince others that you belong, that you are able to take what is yours. You're able to take your goals. It's not like you're just reaching your goals. You're going to fight all the way up to your goals, and then you're going to take that goal, and then you're going to establish a new goal. That dominant personality, and that dominant personality just simply does not have room, typically, for the unsuccessful mentality. Okay, so I just wanted a quick touch on that. Hopefully I'll be coming out with more videos. It's just a perspective. Certainly I'll be contradicting myself in other perspectives, but that's the whole point. It's not necessarily just what I believe, it's also the ideas that pop up into people's heads, and being able to contradict yourself and kind of see other perspectives on different issues. Okay, well, if you've got a different perspective, of course, please feel free to comment below, and I will see you next time. See ya.